Don't talk about
most important thing that somebody can do to gain the trust of the people that they're leading.
sometimes it is a hard press to introduce a new song.
That's critical worship leader thinking, and everybody doesn't think like that.
How about gaining the trust of the people you serve for you to be able to lead them into deeper waters? I think that's the goal, like understanding, just like you said, understanding who you're ministering to, understanding what's effective for them. But this is what people don't talk about. How about gaining the trust of the people you serve for you to be able to lead them into deeper waters? That's priceless. That's what I never hear any worship leader talk about is I've gained the heart of the people. I've won the heart of the people. I tell people all the time, they're gonna follow me. They're gonna follow me into deep waters.
About that aspect of being a leader? Because there's a lot of standalone leaders, which are great. When I say that, I mean leaders that can go with any team or anywhere, that go, any place and have a powerful gift. But what's it like, and how do you know when you've won the people? What does it feel like when you know you've won the people and are able to truly lead them into worship?
How I answer that is, I think, you kind of kicked me out of the church, at Restoration. So, you set me down. You set me down, and I was under your tutelage.
You gonna sit here and lie?
And I was studying your ways. No, I'm playing. But what I've learned at Remedy is that breaking down the barrier and the wall, and connecting with the people has led me to a greater experience. So there's a twofold connection that happens, I think. There's the connection that happens before service and following service, being out in the lobby, talking to the people, building relationships. But then there's the connection that happens during the set. There's the smile and look. I learned a lot of this from watching Ty Tribbett. A lot of people think, it's just performance, but it's connection. It was funny. A few weeks ago, I was leading worship and I was getting ready to teach a new song, right? And I looked at the people and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get them to just jump on with this song. And I told them, I was talking to some of my worship leader friends, right?
Can I just say, that's a thing, because sometimes, like I would just think, okay, I'm just about to do a new song. But the fact that you thought about the fact that people might not jump in because it's a new song, that's critical worship leader thinking, and everybody doesn't think like that.
Because when they trust you, they'll even let you correct them. I told the congregation, I said, I'm saying 3 words. Why ain't y'all saying them with me? Because at the end of the day, we're so conditioned in the church to not respond when we don't feel comfortable or we don't feel like it's your favorite song, or when you don't feel like it's something you know. So what we end up doing is we'll sit through the worship experience and then we'll blame the worship leader and say they didn't do everything they could have done, when the reality is no, you didn't jump into the water. So what I tried to do and what I try to do weekly is make them feel comfortable getting into the water.
Right.
The water might feel cold initially, but once you get into the water, it's going to warm up. You're going to warm up to the water. And so what I try to use is strategy. One strategy I used was I told them, like, hey, I was talking to some other worship leaders and they was talking about how they have trouble introducing new songs. And I said, not here. We don't have that trouble.
I remember you did that.
Now, that wasn't fully true, because sometimes it is a hard press to introduce a new song. But I wanted them to believe that, hey, we gonna learn this new song. I'm gonna teach y'all this new song. I'm taking y'all to choir rehearsal. We about to learn this new song. I'm going to teacher mode. And then once you get it, we're gonna drive it. And it's gonna be a beautiful experience. And I taught the song to them and we drove it and it was amazing. It was such unity in the room, but I think it's because I talked to them like we were on the same level, and then I included them in the process. I think so much time I've heard worship leaders honestly complain about the congregation. And I'm like, it's almost like, for lack of a better way to explain it, almost like complaining about your kids. Like, essentially, they're going to go where you lead them if they trust you. So what are we doing as worship leaders to build trust? Does the congregation trust you? Does the leadership trust you? Does the leader trust you? Because when everybody trusts you, everybody will follow.
What do you think is the most important thing that somebody can do to gain the trust of the people that they're leading as a worship leader?
That's such a great question. The first thing that comes to my mind is be consistent. I think you really want to be consistent. You want to show that you care about the experience and that you're not going to leave them for the sake of your ability or for the sake of you loving the song. We can get into our own space as worship leaders because we've been living with the song for a week or 2 weeks. And now we get up there and then there's this moment and we're overwhelmed by the moment sometimes because this moment means so much. We've been living with this song, but they just got introduced to this song 5 minutes ago. So what we've been living with, they just got introduced to. So what it makes me think of, how can I consistently not leave them behind? How can I consistently challenge them, but show them love? How can I consistently show that I support the fact that you might not know this song, but it doesn't mean you don't need to sing this song? By the end of the worship set, before I toss the mic to the pastor, my goal is to make sure we're all singing the same song.
Yeah.
Even if I have to break it down, we have to strip the song down. We have to take it down to a few words in unison. Did we all unify to sing the song together? Consistency is the key.